So I put up a picture yesterday of an arch, a 3-centered arch that I drew, and I had quite a few requests on how to do it. So today I thought, why not? I'll stick my head cam on and I'll go through how to do it, how I learnt it, and see if it can help you guys out. I've got something to say at the end of the video as well, so stick around and we'll just go through this quickly and then have a little chat with you at the end. Right, I'm going to quickly whiz through it and then go back and show you some bits after. But we're going to go for, you need to start with the span, the opening size. And we're going to go for 990 mil. I'm going to call this point A and point B. Second thing you need to do is to find a centre line perpendicular to the span. And the easiest way to do that is to bisect the line. And if you don't know how to bisect, it is basically, you go past the halfway point from the side that you're doing it from. So from this point, you'll go past halfway, you go up, and you'll come down here, and then you'll switch over, get your points, you go up, and you'll come down. Now this point here and this point here will be dead centre and perpendicular through A and B. So we'll go through. Oh, it's a little bit off there. It won't be far wrong. But this, we'll call this point D and point C. The next thing you need to do is to find the rise for the intrudus. Intrudus is the internal of the arch. We're going to go for 300 mil, 30 mil on the tape, on the ruler, sorry. And then we're going to draw a line from, we'll call this point E. We'll go from point A to point E. Now, the next thing you need to do is to go from C to A, and give you a radius going through D. There's your D line, and there's your radius through D, and this will give you point F. Now you need to find a radius, the radius from E to F, going through line A to E, which will give you G. Now you need to dissect the line through A and G. So halfway point is about there. You want to go from A. I'll open this up a touch. Go past halfway from A to G. And you want to come up here and down here, roughly. And then go switch over to G. Go through these 2 points. And that is a parallel line going through A and G. We'll call this point H and point I. Now we need to transfer I over to between C and B. So we'll go from C. We will then go to point I, transfer it around to this side, and that is your point J. Now we'll go through from H to J. Now this point here, and this point here are your striking points. So what you basically then do is come to your striking point, I to A, and transfer that round, the radius round, and this is your introduce, your first of your arches, your introduce of your arch from strike point 1, or I, sorry. And then you've got from J to B, so this is you're now forming your arch. You'll then go from H to E. And join these 2 points up. I'm a little bit off there, but I think that's where I was slightly off from that centre line there. And then what you'll do then is you'll go 215, the width of a brick this way, and the height of a brick 215 this way. You will then come back to your striking point I, transfer the radius round for your extrudus, and then the same from J this way. Then you will transfer from H, and then you will open up to your new extrudus point for the arch, which is there. Just drawing these 2 up. Oh no, slightly out. There, there, and there. And that is basically, so excuse my quick rough sketch. How you find the shape of a free centre arch. So I have a confession to make. I learned how to do that yesterday. Everyone has to start somewhere when they're learning. I've never had the need to learn it. I've never needed to learn it. And what I will say is that the W.G. Nash book, which is what I learned it from yesterday, took you through step by step on how to do it. I didn't know any terms. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what bisecting a line was. I didn't know the span. Like, I didn't know all the technical terms, because I have always been someone that has just worked in a price work gang and learned how to lay bricks. You know, I went to college. I'd done my 3rd year. I'd done like 2 days of my whole 3rd year at college. The rest was all spent on site. I didn't learn anything about arches. But what I'm trying to basically say to you is, everyone has to start somewhere when they're learning. Do not feel stupid about asking questions. Whenever I want to know something, I have no problem whatsoever asking anyone how to do it. You get so many people out there that try to make you feel stupid as a person because you don't know something, when at the end of the day, that person that's trying to make you feel stupid for not knowing that certain thing in particular, they didn't know it at some point either. They had to learn it from somewhere. Now that just tells you what type of person that person is. But I don't know how well I come across at doing that. I had to refer back to the book a couple of times just to remind me of the steps to take. But overall, I remembered it pretty well. I've always been pretty good at learning things that I want to learn. I've always found personally, for me as a person, if I'm not interested in something, I cannot learn it. I cannot focus on it, and I have no interest whatsoever in learning it. But when I want to know something or I want to learn something, I find it a lot easier to take things on board, and I learn things a lot easier like that anyway. I mean, when I was at school, I didn't do very well because I was not interested in what they were teaching or how they were trying to teach it. So don't feel stupid for not knowing things, and don't be afraid to learn or ask someone how to learn or where to learn. It doesn't matter, because no one knows everything. Everyone has to learn it at some point from someone or something. You learn from people or you learn from books. I learned all of this yesterday from a book. I don't know how well it come across that I knew it for years or anything like that, but I learned it yesterday, and I done a four-centered Gothic arch, which when I looked at it at first, I thought, what the fuck is that? I looked at it, I thought, what the fuck? But when you break something down and you work through it from start to finish, books they can usually teach you how to do something pretty well if you don't get put off by the end result and start from the beginning. When I had to learn how to read drawings, no one taught me how to read a drawing because no one was really that interested in teaching me. So I would steal drawings and take them home and try and figure it out. I'd go online, what the fuck does, FFL mean? What does FFL mean in construction? And it would tell you. So there's always ways to get there yourself. Buy books. I'll leave a link to these two books, to the books, W. Nash, G. Nash books, Bricklayer's Bible, they call it. So don't worry about not knowing something. There's always a way to find out what you need to know. Whether, if the person you want to know it from is a prick, and they make you feel stupid for trying to learn, don't bother your ass with them. Get some books, go online, bricklaying books, W.G. Nash books. There's loads of ways to find out what you need to know. No one knows how to do everything in bricklaying. Everyone has to refer back to something. Even if you've learned how to do something that is technical, you will have to go back and check over it. Most likely. I would anyway. When I'd done tumbling in, I took a job on that I'd never done tumbling in my life. Didn't have a clue how to do it, but I took the job on anyway. Went to my W.G. Nash book, showed me how to do it, piece of piss. When you can put one on top of two, does not matter. You just need to know the method of building it. With your bonds and everything like that, everyone acts like they know every single bond going, but the chances are they're probably going to flick back through their book and go through the bonds themselves. Anyone can whip up Google and go, how many bonds are there, and start telling everyone over the internet there's this many bonds and all that. Anyone can copy and paste something. So do not worry about learning or not knowing something. There's nothing wrong with not knowing about something in your job, because everyone forgets, everyone needs reminding. We're all fucking human at the end of the day.